Hi, Amber here, and today we're just going to do a brief little yin restorative relaxation yoga practice. Just a really nice, cozy, comfy practice where you just want to relax and gently stretch and take some time to nurture and take care of yourself. So, I'm going to come to our mat here. And I know most of you are probably doing this practice at home, so I will show you some props that you might like to use, but you don't have to worry about it if you do not have these props, as I'll be offering some alternatives and ideas of things that you might be able to use at home. So one is a blanket, and that would be one of the biggest ones I'd recommend, is to have a blanket. You can have like kind of one of these typical yoga type blankets like I have here, or you could just use any blanket that you have at home, that even just off your bed or whatever, and maybe fold it up so that it's comfortable to sit on and things like that. But I do recommend having some type of blanket, which I do, I think most of us probably have available at home. Another thing is a bolster, which we have my assistant Murphy here. Hi, Murphy. And he is using the bolster right now because he thinks it's his. But this is a big yoga pillow. I don't know how well you can see it here, but here we go. It's a big yoga pillow. And if you have one of these, that is awesome. But again, if you don't worry about it. You can still do this practice. Instead of the bolster, we would grab a couple of pillows. So I just have these fun, big, fluffy pillows. But again, you could just use a couple of pillows from your bed. You might want 2 or 3, just depending on what size your pillows are and like how fluffy they are. So you'll be able to stack them up. So we'll go ahead and have that available, either a blanket and then like some pillows for most of us, or a bolster if you have one. Another option here is blocks. You probably won't need blocks for the practice too much today, but typically in Yin Restorative we might do a few poses where you use blocks, so that's something that you might consider, but for today I wouldn't worry about it too much. Mostly just a blanket and some pillows and you should be fine. So we'll start by finding a comfortable seat, whatever this is for you. So you can sit here on a blanket. You don't have to sit on any blanket or anything, but I do think for most of us, sitting on a blanket or a cushion or something comfortable to you, kind of something to elevate your hips, to help relax any tension in your lower back, so you can sit with an upright spine, can be very beneficial. And we'll just kind of sit with an upright spine, let the crown of your head lengthen up towards the ceiling, let your shoulders relax down and back so it's not too stiff or structured. Just keeping that good posture while also being relaxed. Your eyes can be open or closed. We're just going to take a few moments to come to our breath here and just gently breathe in and out through your nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. And breathe out. And as you breathe here, you might even choose to inhale let and exhale go, if that feels good to you. And as you take a moment here to get comfortable on your seat and connect to your breath, taking this time to slow down and to find some time and stillness for yourself. I do want to mention that the practice we're doing today is almost kind of like a little sample of a Yin Restorative Yoga practice that I'm teaching with World Peace Yoga. If you are taking this class in real time, as it's being released, I'm teaching it right now online through Zoom at World Peace Yoga Online. So you can do this safely and from the comfort of your own home. In the future, I may be also doing some in-person classes on site at the studio, but that is to be announced. And I will be putting links in the description below for those of you who might be interested in doing a longer, full-length hour class that is similar to what we'll be practicing here today. But for right now, just stay with that breath, breathing in and out gently through your nose. And start to set your intention for the practice today. So any kind of intention that you're feeling called to focus on today. Just something positive, uplifting, relaxing to you. Just letting any thought waves of the day settle, letting go of anything that doesn't feel good to you right now, and just taking this time to really take what you need from the practice. taking care of you makes you more capable of taking care of everything else. So as you sit with this breath and this intention, if your eyes are closed, you may begin to open them. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Just stretch your fingertips up to the sky. Really lengthen. Reach your fingertips up as high as you can. Exhale, send your left hand down to the floor. Right arm reaches up and over into a side stretch. Really try to keep that right hip rooted down towards the earth here. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, other side. And stretch through the side of your body. Take a gentle breath here. Open body, open mind. Being open to all the possibilities, all the things that might be going on. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release your arms down to the side. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, or clasp your hands together. You start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift up through your chest. And a little baby back bend here. A nice little shoulder stretch. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, release that out. And then take your hands behind you, shoulders over your wrist, fingers spread wide. And then option one here, you can start to draw your shoulder blades closer together and kind of opening up through your chest. You're coming a little baby back bend. The option one is to stay here, making sure that you're not pinching your lower back. Or option two, you might lift your hips up a little bit. And see how that feels. Maybe you can tilt your head back. Take one more breath in, wherever you're at. And then exhale, release, let it go. And then just roll your shoulders up by your ears and then down and back a few times, releasing any tension or pressure you might be feeling there. Just kind of releasing any tension in your shoulders. And then gently allow your shoulder blades to relax down your back. We'll do one more move here seated before we move around more on the mat. So just do a little stretch for our neck. So tilt your chin up towards the ceiling. Just pause here, feeling a stretch along the front of your neck. So keeping the upright spine. Breath might feel a little more restricted here. That's totally normal. Just do what you can to keep breathing. And then inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale your chin down to your chest, chest to your chin. This time feeling that stretch along the back of your neck. Just try to keep your shoulders still relaxed down away from your ears. Inhale. And then exhale, gently start to slide your chin over to one shoulder and just pause for a moment here. Maybe you tilt it back a little bit if that feels good to you. But just take your time and find what feels good. Eventually come back through center and over to the other side. Same thing here. We'll do this just about one more time on each side, but there's no rush here. Just take your time, really release any of those stubborn areas of pressure you might be feeling in your neck, letting go of the stress in our bodies so we can let go of the stress in our minds, at least a little bit more. And then in your own time, eventually you'll make your way back to center and just lift your chin back up to neutral. From here, we'll scoot off your blanket or cushion if you're sitting on one, and just slide your feet behind you, making your way onto your hands and knees for your tabletop. Fingers spread wide, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees with a flat back. You might put a little blanket or something under your knees here if you want. And coming right into cat and cow. Inhale, look forward, abs relax down towards the earth as your tailbone lengthens up towards the ceiling for your cow. Exhale, draw your navel into your spine as your tailbone tilts towards the earth into your cat. Inhale, sway forward into your cow. And exhale around into your cat. And just continue to flow, just a couple more of these here. And moving with your breath, connecting the breath to the movements as best as you can. And then make your way back to your tabletop, back to your hands and knees. From here, fingers spread wide, shoulders over your wrists. Begin to curl your toes under, lift your hips up for a little downward facing dog. And then just pause for a moment here in your downward facing dog. Maybe walk it out a little bit if you want, or shake your head yes or no. Just kind of connect with your body, any movements that feel good to you. We're not going to spend a lot of time here today. Then optional, you can stay in downward dog, or if you want, you can take a little flow if that's part of your practice. And just inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin to 8-point pose. Inhale, come forward into a little cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog if that feels good to you. Take one more breath in wherever you're at. And then exhale, lower your knees down to the earth. We'll sink our seat to your heels for child's pose. Now we're going to hold this one for a little bit longer. Today it's more the yin or the restorative practice. So knees can be close together or apart, and you can play around with variations here, but I want you to take as much time as you need to get into this pose. So there's no rush here. You have a bolster. Murphy, I need my bolster, buddy. You can give your bolster and your cat over on to your mat, and gently place your bolster out in front of you. It's okay. You can practice with us. And then lower down onto the bolster a little bit at a time. And just rest there, resting your chin to one side. This can provide a great support for you. However, again, I know most of you might not have a bolster, so if you don't, no big deal. This works about just as well. If you just take a couple of pillows, like 2 or 3 pillows, and kind of play around with that to find a good height for you. And then stack those on top of each other. And then as you're ready from there, you can start to lower down onto them, let them support you in child's pose. You can even form a little pillow with your hands too if you'd like that. And if you don't have any props at all, I would suggest doing that, just forming a little pillow with your hands. Otherwise, you might stretch your arms out in front of you, feeling a nice stretch through your shoulders and your upper back. As you gaze over to one side, try to let your elbows relax down towards the earth so that we're not using too much energy in our arms. So arms, shoulders, back, all relax. Completely surrender and settle in here. Completely release. Let go of any control that you might be trying to have on different things going on around you. And we're going to stay here for another minute or two. And in one of my typical live classes, we would hold this for a little bit longer, say 3-4 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes if we have time. But for today, we're just going to pause here a little longer than we normally would in a class, just for another minute or two. You can always come out sooner if you desire to. Otherwise, I encourage you to just stay with that breath, continue to gently breathe in and breathe out. Perhaps come back to your intention that you set. Perhaps just take this time of quiet space to just listen to any little noises or sounds around you, or just embrace the quiet of this time. Let yourself release any pressure, any expectations, let those go, and just take it easy and let yourself feel supported. As you settle in, just relax into your child's pose. Remember, there's no rush. Just take your time here. Let everything go. Allow yourself to just be. Take a couple more easy breaths here. And as you're ready, begin to press down through the palms of your hands. Lift yourself up a little bit at a time, back up to your tabletop. And you can just slide any cushions or props you use off to the side. You come back to tabletop and just take a few moments to make any little stretches or movements that your body might be asking for right now to release that pose that we held a little bit longer today. It's a little more passive, a little more yin. So just any any movements, anything goes here that you're feeling like doing. And take another breath or so, a little moment or so here. And then as you're ready, just begin to you'll make your way back to tabletop. We'll begin to slide your feet over to one side. It doesn't matter which side it is. And make your way back to a comfortable seat. And again, this time I really do encourage you to grab a blanket or cushion to sit on if you have one available to you. And we'll sit with your knees bent in front of you and your feet on the floor. Sit up tall, really lengthen your spine as you allow your knees to fall out to the side, bringing the soles of your feet together. And then optional here, I like to have something under the knees. So you could use blocks if you have them. I did mention you don't really need blocks, and the reason why is because you could just use your pillow or blanket. You might have to roll up a blanket a little bit to nudge it in there to close out any space between your knees and the floor so that you can relax into this. I do have blocks, so I'm going to go ahead and use those, but if I didn't, I'd probably just take a blanket or a couple pillows and stack them underneath, or roll up a blanket and stick it underneath my knees, and that's what I've done on vacation and stuff before, and that seems to work too. So anyway, just play around with that. If you don't have anything at all, don't worry too much about it. We're not going to hold this one quite as long, but let's inhale to sit up tall. Again, lengthen your spine first, and exhale, leading with your heart. So instead of just plopping forward, and start lead with your heart, lead with your chest, and come forward a little bit at a time with a flat back. And then from there, if you want to come further, you might start to slowly round your spine to come forward. You can place your hands on the floor if you'd like, or on your legs. What I like to do here is take my hands to my feet and just kind of give myself a little self-care foot rub while I'm here. And our butterfly pose, or bound angle. I'm just going to take about 10 breaths here to pause. Continue to breathe in. Breathe out. Take this time to just be with yourself, find some quiet space, and look inward. And I'm just going to leave this space quiet for the rest of this pose for you today to focus on whatever you need. Keep breathing. If you'd like, you can pause this video and stay here for a few minutes longer. Otherwise, for the purpose of this practice today, I'll just take a couple more breaths here. And as you're ready, inhale, start to make your way back up to your neutral spine. Just bring your knees back together, move the blocks, pillows, whatever you used off to the side. You might stretch your legs and kind of shake them out, or roll your shoulders a few times, or just any little stretches or movements that feel good to you. Just kind of let it be lighthearted, let it loose, release from the pose. And then eventually we'll make our way back to that comfortable cross-legged seat like where we started. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And exhale, send your right hand to your left knee as you turn to look out over your shoulder, coming into just a little seated twist. We'll just take one breath here. Inhale as you really sit up tall and lengthen your spine. And exhale as you twist. Any amount is fine. Inhale, look forward, gently unwind from your twist. Take an exhale, take a moment here. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead again. And exhale, other side, twist, turn to look out over your left shoulder. Over your right shoulder. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Inhale, look forward, gently unwind from your twist. And then from here, just come back to that comfortable seat where we started. And let's just take one big breath in through your nose. And exhale, a big sigh out through your mouth. Just kind of let go, release any lingering tension or effort here. And then you may return back to your natural breath. And just take a moment to tune in with yourself. Notice how you feel. And then one more time, inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, bring your palms down to your heart. And just take a brief moment here, quiet space, to thank yourself for taking this time to come to your mat, to slow down and take this time to take care of yourself and be your greatest version. Thank you so much for joining me. It really does mean a lot. Namaste. Like I mentioned earlier, if you enjoyed this practice and you're feeling the benefits of this practice, maybe you're feeling a little more loose or a little more relaxed, something you might want to try to amplify those benefits, since this was a little mini practice, is check out one of my hour-long classes. I'll link in the description below. Right now it's on World Peace Yoga online, but if you're watching in future time, there might also be in-person classes available at some point. But yeah, you can try, the classes are an hour long, so you can go much deeper into this practice and do a lot more poses and take more time for different relaxation techniques to really get more out of the practice. But for now, I hope that you did enjoy this, and hopefully I will see you soon. Those classes also have a 7-day free trial, so you can try out the online classes at least for 7 days for absolutely free. But if you have any questions about that, just let me know. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. Otherwise, for now, just thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you either in one of my World Peace Yoga live classes for Yin-Restorative, or I will see you back here on my YouTube channel next week. I have new videos out every Monday, so if you like this, give it a like, subscribe for more content, or maybe share it with a friend who you think could benefit from this practice. It all really helps me out. And again, thank you so much. Take really, really good care of yourself. Bye.